Thank you for joining me. Thank you to my replay viewers. My name is Shonda Miles. I am a medical coding coach. I help medical coders who want to get some type of certification, whether it's HEMA certification or APC certification. I have 17 years experience as a medical coder, as well as an auditor for inpatient and outpatient coders. I have written 5 books on medical coding, as well as 6 certifications in medical coding. And so I wanted to talk about, I get this question a lot, should I get a certificate or should I just get a degree? Hey Dolores, thank you for joining. Should I get a certificate or should I just get a degree? And so I wanted to answer this question. I think it's an important question, especially if you're looking to get into medical coding and you're not sure what route to take. And this is a challenging question, to say the least. So I will just start off by saying that a degree is always better. And I think that it really depends on what your goals are as far as coding is concerned. So if you are just interested in getting into coding, you want to become a coder, you want to maybe do inpatient, outpatient coding, possibly some auditing, you'll probably be okay with a certificate program, and I'll tell you my stipulations on that. But if you want to get into higher level management, I'll just talk about that in a minute. If you want to get into higher levels of management, then the degree program is better. And so when I say degree program, I'm talking about your 2-year associate degree program that is accredited through a HEMA. And so when I say accredited through a HEMA, they have on their website, good, how about you? HEMA has on their website that, hey, Kawan, thank you for joining. HEMA has on their website certain schools that they accredit or they give credit, or they will only allow students to sit for the RHIA, which is Registered Health Information Technician, or which is an associate degree, or RHIA. I said it wrong. RHIT, Registered Health Information Technician. That's an associate degree. Bachelor's degree is RHIA, Registered Health Information Administrator. And so those 2 degrees come from they come through a school that is accredited through a HEMA. So if you didn't do that, if the schools were not accredited through a HEMA, then to me it's no better than a certificate. It's not, certificate would be probably better. So I always weigh the cost as well. When you're thinking about investing in yourself in education, I always think about the cost. So when I look at certificate programs, I think they're fine for becoming a medical coder. So the problem I have is that when you go to a school and you want to get an education for coding, you want to be mindful of the fact that schools that offer APC approved curriculum, so that means that they purchase APC's textbooks, they purchase APC's curriculum, they have access to PowerPoints, they have access to APC's tests. And so the advantage you have when you do that is that you have all APC stuff. You have access to the people who administer the medical coding certification exam. And what better thing do you want than that? So I do like certificate programs that do offer the approved APC curriculum. It gives the coder an advantage. The coders are, in my opinion, 90% more likely to pass the CPC exam on the first opportunity, because the experience the APC offers, the curriculum, the textbook, the tests are they're first class. There is nothing else on the market like APC's curriculum. And there is a standard step-by-step. Everybody uses it. Every coding school goes through it at some point. So it is superior to the step-by-step. And so in that regard, if a school is a certificate program, they offer APC approved curriculum, I am all for that. So coders will, in a minute, blame the school or blame the instructor if they didn't learn, if they didn't get what they needed from the school to pass the certification exam. And so my thought on that is, because I am an educator, because I teach coding, is that at some point a coder has to take responsibility and say, okay, I failed this test. This is my fault, because I believe wholeheartedly that if you can read, and if you're in school you can read, you have to take responsibility, because a coder's responsibility is to go home and study every single day. You know, if they're in class, they should be reading. Even on the weekends, they should be reading and studying. So you can't blame the instructor if you're not getting what you want. So if you go into a school expecting them to teach you everything you need to know to be a good coder, teach you everything you need to know to pass the CPC exam, you are in for a rude awakening, because we don't have that type of power. I mean, we can teach you, you know, whatever you need to know, but you have to go back and listen to those things again, reinforce those things again in your mind. There's different learning styles. So some people have to hear it over and over. Most people have to hear it over and over again, because if you're, you know, just let's face it, medical coding is like a new language. So you have to have time to process it. Once the instructor lectures, you have to go back and listen to it, you know, I mean, go back and read it over and over again. So it's tough. So I will say that if you decide to go to a medical coding certificate program or college online, it's tough. It's really tough. So I find that coders who are not familiar with coding, not been in that type of environment, have a harder time. So in my opinion, it is tough. It's tough to do it online. There's something about being in class with other students asking questions, the camaraderie, the relationships that you build. You're able to hear things and the questions that you didn't even know that you might have had. And so the experience is so much more richer to me in a classroom, and everybody needs that. Everybody needs it. So are coders successful online? Of course they are. Do they struggle or have a hard time? Absolutely. It's totally different. You're basically out there on an island by yourself trying to figure it out. And so I don't like online programs as much as I do as a student going face to face and listening to an instructor, being in there with their classmates while somebody's asking questions or they're asking questions. It benefits everybody. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. I also, when I'm, advising somebody about certificate versus a degree program, as long as the certificate program has, this is the second thing I think they should have, is a medical terminology and an anatomy class. Some schools don't offer this, which I think is ludicrous, and it's a waste of your money. Don't do it. If they don't offer a medical term and anatomy class, it's not going to be worth the money, because coding is, ICD-10 coding is, that's all it is anatomy and a medical terminology. And so you have to be, first class. You have to be, you have to know it. And so it's hard to learn it on your own outside of class, especially if you invested your money in a 9-month program and they didn't teach you. So you need to be in a medical term and anatomy class. So make sure if you're going to, if you go to certificate route, that they do offer that. The next thing is, I like to see schools that offer some type of CPC prep or boot camp. It's what I did when I got certified over 10 years ago. It really helped me, and I see it benefit to students as well. Very beneficial. So if you're going to sign up for a certificate program or degree, whatever, make sure that they offer some type of support when you're trying to, when you're getting ready to take the CPC exam. You want to make sure that you have some help. You have somebody who's going to, because you go 9 months or 2 years, whatever, and then you've forgotten some things. So if you go to a prep class or a boot camp, it will help you kind of refresh, get better. Maybe something that didn't click before will click during the boot camp. So I think that's another advantage that certificate programs can offer. The last thing is, do your own research. So what you should do first is look at what's required in your area. So are the hospitals in your area or clinics in your area, do they want somebody with a certificate, or do they want somebody with the RHI or RHIT? And so just be clear, you have to have a associate's degree or a bachelor's degree, depending on which one you get, for the RHIA or RHIT to even sit for them. So just because you get the degree doesn't mean you get the certification. You have to take an exam. But you want to do your research and see what your local area requires. Or if you want to be a remote coder, you need to do the research for that as well. Just, you can just type in remote medical coder and see what jobs are looking for. And so I'll just tell you from experience, I don't have the RHIA or RHIT. Should I? Probably. But I've been able to get, several jobs over the years, and I've been able to, make 6 figures as a coder consistently. So is it necessary? it's up for discussion. I'll just leave it at, as if you want to be in management, the RHIA, RHIT is a necessity. And so, with that being said, if coding is kind of where you want to be, coding, auditing, you can probably stick with the CCS along with your, like CPC or something like that. CCS is a HEMA certification. It's certified coding specialist. It's for inpatient coders. So it just kind of gives you another kind of credential, more, validity, commitment to your craft. And so most hospitals who do require the RHIA or RHIT will accept the CCS as a substitute. So I just want to jump on and talk about that today. I get this question, and it is it's a tough question because it just kind of depends on your particular unique circumstances. So when you're thinking about this and you go to a school and you're trying to decide if you're going to go to certificate or the degree route, just really focus on what your future goals are. And then do your research for the area, your area, and see, or if, like I said, if it's remote, you want to do the research and see what is required in your area, if it's remote. So you can really make an informed decision instead of, listening to me. You want to make sure that you're informed. You don't go to school for 9 months in a certificate program and pay a hefty cost at that, and then you can't get a job. So that doesn't make any sense. So you want to do your research. You want to make sure that you look at, ask some questions about, do they have the APC approved curriculum? Do they help coders get certified? Do they offer some type of prep or boot camp? Do they offer anatomy, medical terminology? So you want to you really want to know the answers to those questions, because that will help you. You want, as much support as you can get, as much help as you can get. So I hope this helps you determine if you want to get a certificate or a degree. So, it's really going to be up to you, but I think either way you'll be fine. Just make sure you ask those questions, do your own research. So thank you.